All right, welcome everybody for a stock market update for the end of the day. This is Damon Stevens with FinWealth Builders, and what a great day it was. Boy, this market just continues to provide opportunities every day. So hopefully you had a successful day, and if so, then definitely share it with us. If not, definitely let us know where we can help. Definitely want to make sure that you have all the tools and means to do everything that you need to be successful in this market. Now, if you ever want to join us here, we have a Discord here on our website at finwealthlive.com, where you can join us each morning, where we post our numbers of what we're trading each day before the market opens. That way you know what we're looking at, what levels we're looking at, when we're getting in, when we're getting out, so that we're disclosing all that information right up front. So let's take a look at, again, make sure you subscribe to our channel. That way we can continue to bring this content to you. Looking at the market here, you can see that Dow Jones closed down 0.5%, NASDAQ down 1.25%, and S&P 500 down 0.72%. It's quite a day. So the Fed spoke out today. It was just the minutes from, as far as what was going on with the economy. But you see here, we had this little kind of flat day, pulled down, had this little rally that came up, and then obviously you dumped in. These two little candles right here are a good indicator for you. If you ever see these candles right together and this one engulfs the other one, that's a turn to the downside. So you did get a nice warning right here that the market was reversing, and that was on all three of those markets. So just keep that in mind. Just a little bit of a training for you, just going forward. Also, you can see here with our heat map that pretty red across the board. So overall things are starting to pull back a little bit, which I had discussed a couple nights ago, and even last night in our video, that there's going to be a pullback at some point. How far that pullback comes, that's to be determined for the market. But you can see otherwise, we did get that little pullback today. Looking at our scanner, BWV, I did not trade this one, but this one did give us a little rocket ride. Hopefully you got that one. I had enough stocks that I was looking at that I did not look at that one. But looking at our live, this is S&P 500 E-mini futures. You can see here that we got this little grouping right here. So this is kind of where we're just kind of right now, last few days. So you can see that we're kind of consolidating here. And last time, we've consolidated before, and we consolidated before we had this pullback. So we're looking at, if they break this line here at this 4270, definitely could come back here and retest some of these areas down here like 4200. Otherwise, we could build energy enough to bust through here. But right now you can see we're riding this trend line before we got rejected off this trend line. Again, we've been here. This is 4 days at this trend line. So does it reject it? It's possible. So we just need to be aware of that. We could also break up though and go back towards the upper deviation band. But right now we're just kind of hovering here, trying to figure out some direction on the market. Looking at tomorrow, we have initial jobless claims coming out. That could possibly have an effect. We have existing home sales as well. Some leading economic indicators tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. Not much on Friday. So Thursday is probably our biggest day, but it is options expiration week, which means all the options, daily, weekly, monthlies, all expire on the same day. So between Thursday and Friday, typically you can get a sell-off, especially when I show you some of the charts here of what's going on in the market right now. Looking at our earnings here, you can see, so we had Walmart and Home Depot, which kind of set the tone for Target, although Target had some really bad earnings, which kind of hit it hard. Lowe's, was kind of leading with Home Depot. I didn't really look at Krispy Kreme, TJ Maxx. Cisco, earnings were okay. I didn't trade this one. I'll be watching it in the morning, though, for a possible trade. Looking at tomorrow, we get a good idea on retail, really. That's what you want to know, is how is the retail, affected by the economy, by interest rates and things like that, and how do they see it going forward? Because that can help to set up the rest of this year. Because typically, we have a bit of a pullback, possibly in August, September, and then October through December. You get into the the holiday seasons and things start to rocket again. And so it'll be interesting to see, if they feel like that's going to happen this year as well. And then we have John Deere on Friday, so just keep that in mind. Looking at here's the call and puts. So this is the S&P 500. This is the calls and puts. So this is people shorting the market using contracts and people long on the market using contracts. And you see here the ratio, there's almost 2.7 shorting contracts to long contracts. So obviously people are expecting a pullback at some point. Max pain for the market would be 410. And we're right now about 426. So had a few dollar pullback. But here's where the max pain could be the market. You see all these people are shorting. If the market does not come down, all these shorts would be taken out and the market would take that money back. So obviously there's a lot of drive to bring this market back a little bit. Look at Apple, just been a rocket ride. You can see here, this is kind of a little area of consolidation we had in this area before breaking down. This was kind of the high right here, back here in April for this year. And you see that we're kind of like tagging, right? We tagged it, came up right, close to this, the middle of this candle, and pulled back below that. So we're just right here at the bottom. So looking for a rally here to see if we have enough in this in the market. Try to get to this high, 178 to 179, possibly. Or if we can't, we can stay in this channel here for a little bit. And if we get weak enough, we can start to pull back through some of these other channels. Right now, this is kind of where it's kind of trying to break out. Apple's just been a beast. Look at this, just a huge run. Every time it's kind of pulled back a little bit, it ran up. Pulled back, ran up. So we'll see what it can do as it finishes out this week. Chipotle, same thing. Just a beast with earnings. Just, rocket ride. So you see here, we're sitting around 1,700 right now. We spiked up, we've been trying to spike up there a couple days. We're in this little channel. This would be the next channel to get into. You see this little grouping here. Definitely is an area of resistance around the 1750 area. So we'll see if Chipotle can do that. It may start to pull back. If it breaks this channel, we can start having a pullback here. But 1645 would be the next one area of support. If it breaks that, obviously we can come back down towards the 20-day moving average. And Tesla, just kind of, it's kind of just slowly chopped up and down, up and down, up and down. And it's kind of gotten this little channel here, kind of between this range of 830 and 940. And you see that, we hit this area twice now, around this 140, 942 area and pulled back. So we'll see what that does for Tesla, if it continues to pull back tomorrow, or does it try to rally up here and it can't get enough strength to break through this candle. But right now, this big candle right here is a lot of resistance for these stocks. On Microsoft got back into this upper channel, which is right here, and then pulled back today. So it's back down in this lower channel. And so just something to keep in mind going forward as we try to see if we can get Microsoft back up there, or is it going to pull back here and come back down for some support. Amazon, also resistance. It's been in this little channel here. You can see that it's kind of gone back and forth. As long as it doesn't break this 200-day at 139.50 area, we may just chop until we get enough strength to go up. Or if we don't and we break that line, we very well could come back down to that 20-day moving average. Nvidia, same thing, up, failure, pulled way back, ran up again, fell just short of breaking through again at this 192 area, and it's pulled back here, and it tagged this bottom line here, 182.75 area, and bounced off there luckily. If it breaks this area where the 20-day is, look for additional downside. If not, we could possibly chop in this channel here. Maybe it bounces back up tomorrow and tries to ride back up towards 192. But we're going to need some momentum here. You can see that the volume is really low on stocks right now as we've been making this run. Google, same thing, kind of flat right in this channel at this very bottom area. So, very weak on Google right now. But definitely subscribe, like our videos. That way we can continue bringing this content to you, and we'd love to work with you. And if you need some training or additional help, we'd love to provide that to you as well. Just let us know. Just reach out to us. If you look at this chart here, this is the S&P 500 stocks above the 50-day moving average. So typically, when stocks get above 50 days, they start to rally. That's where they get more bullish and they start to run. And so right now you see that we're almost 92% of all the S&P 500 companies are above their 50-day moving average, which is very strong. But you see here, back in June of 2020, We hit this top here, 98, pulled back. Back in November 2020, we hit 87.32 and pulled back. And then in April 2021, 93 and pulled back. So you can see here all this history here. So 78% and pulled back in January of this year. In March of this year, hit only 75 and pulled back. And now we're at 92. So we're up here in these other upper levels that we have haven't been in for a while. So that's where be prepared for a pullback. Doesn't have to, but you can see here also the elevation. So we're getting a little bit oversold, which is another indicator that we can keep going, but it's an indicator that there could be some exhaustion out there. 10-year bonds, another thing to look at. If this continues to skyrocket, you look at it, just got above the 50-day today, and it's right here tag teamed with August. If it breaks above this area right now, more likely that's going to help to drive the market down because money's flowing into bonds. Same here. We had a big old spike in the bonds, the 2-year bonds. If that continues to go up, market's going to come down. That means money's flowing somewhere else. Dollar elevated as well, broke through this resistance area, heading back up towards highs. If it does that, market's most likely coming down. Gold, as the dollar goes up, gold goes down, and that's what you can exactly see here. And it broke a resistance area. If it doesn't hold that, it could continue. We could possibly break right back down again. So again, seeing some exhaustion here a little bit. U.S. oil just sitting here down here weak, consolidating off the 200-day, needing a breakout here again. But right now it's showing weakness. VIX is set here for a week now, down here at this resistance area. Hasn't broke down into this area, this lower area. But if it does, the market can continue rallying. But this is almost ready to break out here. So it's either going to come down, or we could have a breakout and break this back up towards the 20-day. If we do, market could have additional pullback days. Maybe it finishes out the week down a little bit. But the VIX, you can see here on this 1 day. So this is 1 day. So let's go to a weekly here. I'll change this over to weekly just to give a different perspective. So on a weekly, let's pull way down. Came down here, tagged the bottom of the candle right here, which is the same as right here, and pulled back up a little bit today. So last time it pulled up, it did that. It pulled way up and started going up. So that's what I'm saying. Just be careful out there. We are below the moving averages, but we are at this midline of our deviation bands, and you did get a little pull up, which is what it did the last time before it popped back up and rallied, which would bring the market back down. Looking at the SPY on a daily date basis, and you see the SPY just been coming up, pulling back, going up, pulling back, going up yesterday, and pulled back a little bit today. Still this level, so if it breaks 425, I'd get more concerned. If it can get back above 427, then we could get back into this candle right here. But definitely it's having a little bit of a struggle here, a little bit of a pullback. It's not a big one, it's not a big candle, just a little one. But if we see a big candle to the downside, then we definitely need to watch out that we could start to come back down and possibly retrace at least down these moving averages, or 50% of the move. On a weekly basis, you can see we popped above this candle, this last week's candle, but we didn't stay above it today. So if we don't get above this candle, we most likely will probably start chasing this candle back down towards this 420, 415 area. So something to definitely watch over the next couple of days. Triple Qs, it started pulling back. It bounced off this 20-day, the 200-day moving average. So it's trying to find support. If it breaks the 200, then again we're gonna have a more serious pullback. Semiconductors, again, fell back, pulled back here. It's on the 20-day. We start to pull back through that 20-day. Expect additional weakness. Otherwise, you can see we just have these pullbacks here, and they continue to rally up. So we need some positive days tomorrow. But you see volume, again, is low. So just be cautious on that. IWM, you can see that we've had pullbacks. This is just one of those. So we'll see if we can hold this. If we break this line here, it's 196.29 line. Look for additional pullback here into this channel, maybe 190.44. Otherwise, we got to rally up as we did, prior. Financials, same thing, showing some weakness here. Got a rejection, still on the high, still above this candle. Break this candle, and then we have more downside. Healthcare. Hit that little resistance area up here in this zone, pull back here. So we're kind of in this little zone right here. So we really got to break up and hold a couple days above this 133.88 area to keep rallying. Energy sector, getting tired as well. See here, we've got 5 days in here, so we have a whole week in here. Low volume. So it needs to break up here, but it's on the lower part of this, so that makes me think that maybe we trade maybe within this candle here. Maybe this is engulfing still right now, so maybe we just stay in this range and kind of stagnate a little bit. Bitcoin, couple day pullback now, but we're still above the 20-day and the 50. So as long as we get that, we can have a chance to get back up. You can see this, it looks like an ascending wedge. So it's possible to break through this. But so far it's holding. It's held every time. So we'll see. Bitcoin can keep it going. Ethereum, have this little pullback here. Check in probably around this area, around 1763, sorry. And hopefully bounce off of here and try to break through. But right now you can see this trend line has been big time resistance. So that line's holding. So as we go down this wedge here, possible for a breakout here if we don't break out to the upside. So that's our stocks, our cryptos. This is our website. Definitely come join us on our Discord. Love to have you join us. Love to have you watch our videos so you can learn more about what we provide and what we can do for you. And looking for really to offer, free training to somebody out there. So whoever's the first to respond to this video, just respond to this video, send an email to invested@finwealthlive.com. You can see a link actually on our website. So just go out there, join our Discord. As soon as I see your name pop up here, we'll give you a call and provide you a free training here and see if that can help you out and maybe even help you understand maybe some different opportunities that are out there in the marketplace to trade. So everybody have a great night. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk tomorrow night and plan out the rest of our week as we come into the weekend.